In this short video clip, I want to say a few words on another unpopular preacher. When I say unpopular preacher, I'm not saying he was unpopular in his own day. He may well have been. But what I mean is, if this man came back and preached the way he did in those years long ago, if he came back and preached like that, he would certainly be unpopular today. I'm thinking of Paul in Romans chapter 1, verses 14 to 32. Very briefly, this is what's going on. Paul tells the Romans that he is under pressure inwardly. He has an eagerness, he has a duty, but he has a sense of wanting to preach the gospel and preach the gospel in Rome. And he's writing to these people to tell them what the gospel is. Good news. So, maybe their ears perked up. Oh, we're going to get some good news today. And then you get verse 18. How does Paul start? For the wrath of God is revealed. What? The wrath of God? The anger of God? Is this the good news? This is where Paul starts. And he doesn't just raise it and then get away from it. He spends verse after verse, paragraph after paragraph, going over this, driving it home. You see, the wrath of God is the first point in the good news. Now, I say Paul would be unpopular today. With many preachers, you see. They want to do as much as they can, and the churches there where they are, they want to do as much as they can to gather as many together as they can and keep them happy in the hope that one day perhaps they might somehow or another drift in some kind of process into becoming Christians. They're churchifying them at the moment. They're showing seeker-friendly atmosphere, relationship evangelism, friendliness evangelism, friendship evangelism, softly, softly, gently, gently. Paul will have none of that. He starts with the wrath of God. And it's not the wrath of God that will be revealed in the final day, in the judgment. Oh no, that will come, of course, eternal wrath. But here he is speaking about the wrath of God that is, at this very moment, he says, being revealed. And he spells it out. Very briefly, it's this. He tells his readers, he tells everybody who will listen to him, that we, as sinners, are responsible. We stifle the knowledge of God. We hide it. We suppress it. We change the glory of God. We change God himself and form him into an image that we can worship and like and adapt and adopt and so on, and manage. You read it through and you'll see what I'm saying is true. And Paul says quite bluntly that God holds all men guilty. And for this, he visits the world. He visits mankind. He visits society with judgment, with wrath. And he spells it out. It shows itself in the breakdown of society, family life, married life, social life of every kind, perversion, disorder, the breakdown in human intercourse and society. Perversion, homosexuality, breakdown in family life, disobedience, unruliness, and all kinds of idolatry and nonsense and foolishness. This is the wrath of God being revealed. There is the judgment of God to come, but the wrath of God is being revealed now. And this preacher, Paul, spells it out. I say he would be unpopular today. Oh, this won't attract people. And if people have come in to hear this, they won't stay. We must be softly, softly. Sugar and candy floss and coffee. Make them feel at home. Treat them gently. Kid gloves. And we hope that one day they might be somehow or other sort of churchified into becoming Christians. Not a bit of it. Paul spells it out. Without the wrath of God driven into the conscience and the sense of it, there is no sense of the love and mercy and grace of God. He has to lay the black background down first, and then the light of the gospel will shine. We need such unpopular preachers as this. This is what the world is crying for. This is what the churches demand, if only they knew it. We've had enough and more than enough of these popular preachers who make it all so smooth and easy. Let's hope that God will raise up such unpopular preachers as Paul. Where do they start when they bring the gospel? With the personal sense of the wrath of God upon sinners. May God bless this short discourse, and may it be that preachers who hear me will, if they have been guilty in this respect, change their habits, and those who are trying to spread the gospel by showing the wrath of God, may we be blessed in our labors. And of course by preachers. It's not just pulpit work. Every believer is a preacher of Christ and the gospel. And we need to start with the wrath of God before and as we reach the love of God in Christ Jesus.